morning. I have not showered or done anything yet, but I'm hungry. I'm gonna make some Kodiak protein packed, carb conscious waffles or pancakes. I'm gonna make pancakes. So I'll show you guys how I do that. I add extra protein even though they say that they're protein pancakes. There's 14 grams, but I'm gonna add more. Okay, so I have the Kodiak protein packed carb conscious waffle pancake mix, and then to make it even more protein, I'm going to put in the Just Ingredients vanilla bean protein powder. So I really like this protein powder, but I can't just drink it like in a protein shake. I have to do plant-based protein for protein shakes. So I use these little packets out of a sample pack that I got to put into stuff like when I cook, like muffins and things like that. I'm going to do some with chocolate chips. I'm going to do some with blueberries. I haven't got that out yet. And then I always put almond milk in it. I always put almond milk in mine just to add a little bit more flavor. And sometimes I'll add eggs or applesauce. Sometimes I'll add all of those things for the muffins. But I don't have any eggs. And I do have homemade applesauce, but I don't really feel like doing that because I'm making pancakes instead. And then I'm going to use the Tillamook sea salt butter. That's the kind of butter we like to buy. Okay, so I did 1.5 cups of the Kodiak mix plus that packet of the vanilla bean protein powder, and it smells so good. I also like to add cinnamon to mine, so I'm gonna add some cinnamon in here. And there was something else I was gonna tell y'all. It might even be worth adding 2 packets of that. Now I don't have 2 vanilla bean packets. I've already used the other vanilla bean one. So I think this will be fine for today since it does have protein in it already. I remember the other thing I was going to tell y'all. I normally add in vanilla extract too, but because it's vanilla bean protein powder, I'm not going to do that this time. So I actually decided to use coconut oil in my pan, and I probably use way too much, but the coconut oil won't burn. It has a very high burn temperature, and look at my puppies. And sometimes the butter will burn. So now that my pan is preheated and hot, I'm actually gonna dump a little bit of this out. That was so much oil. And now I'm going to start making my pancakes. Okay, so I did the blueberries on the other side, and this side looks perfect. But, you know, the first ones are always harder to flip. They smell like frosted Cheerios. They smell so good. These two are the chocolate chip ones. And I put the chocolate chips on the tops whenever I first put them in the pan, and then I like go in with my whisk and I kind of push them down, because if I don't do that, then the chocolate burns when I flip them. So I have my last one in the pan, and I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm just going to leave it plain. But I made extra, so I had leftovers for tomorrow morning's breakfast. And then I make this tea every morning, and I do the the roasted dandelion root tea. And it's kind of like a coffee replacement. But later I'm going to make my iced coffee with my Busy decaf cold brew. And then I'm going to try to do a strawberry white chocolate mocha cold foam. So I put a little bit of the local summerberry honey in my tea. And then I got to get out all the way in the back syrup and I do the pure maple syrup. Okay, so now I'm going to make my iced coffee, and I'm going to use strawberry milk, Chobani white chocolate mocha, and the Busy cold brew, and that's the decaf one. I also have a little bit of almond milk left over that I didn't use for my pancakes, so I'm gonna put it in there. And I got this frother off of Amazon a long time ago. So now I'm just going to, okay, so now I'm going to pour a little bit of this in there. Yep. And then a little bit of this. Okay. Put the lid on, and then I'm gonna do the cold. And so it should froth it up real nice. So now I'm actually going to rinse this out, and I'm going to use it. Don't mind my dishes. I'm going to be doing the dishes today because I got ice from Chick-fil-A. So it's like the soft ice, so I'm gonna get some of that. Okay, because I have to use my phone to film, I couldn't use two hands, so I went ahead and I just put the ice in there, and then now I will pour my coffee because my cold foam is done. That looks good. Kind of looks like Coke. Okay, let's see. Nice and frothy. That is the most successful cold foam I've ever done. And there's still a little left. Probably because I used real milk in there. So not so pretty. Now, what I would have loved to do is had freeze-dried strawberries crushed up, put in there to make it, or strawberry syrup, like homemade strawberry syrup to make it like a pink color. Yeah, I might make some homemade strawberry syrup at some point. Okay, I put on my workout clothes. I do not want to go work out. I have a headache, but I'm gonna do it anyway. And I'm filling up my water. Okay, I'm gonna try to record this, but if you hear a dog barking, it's my neighbor's dog. So I wanted to do a little garden tour before I get everything planted. So I need to work on this bed. There's still pepper plants that are dead that I need to cut down, and then I dumped some soil out of some buckets in there, and there's some scraps from the kitchen. So this is bed 1, so I labeled this like bed 1 on my planning, and so now my dogs are barking at each other. And then I'll use these 3 containers for something. Again, I have pepper plants, I think that was, or a flower of some sort, and then that is strawberries, so I need to clean that out, give it some room to breathe. Have my lavender right here. It still looks pretty good, actually. Still looks, I mean, it'll get blooms on it, but it looks really good. Didn't die with the freeze. Another just small container, and this is technically bed 2. And the reason why I labeled them this way is because that's how I put them out. I put that bed out first, then this bed. And then here's beds 3 and 4. So I put new soil in this bed already. So this is bed 3 and bed 4. As you see, I have some scraps from the kitchen, composting in place. That's my fig tree. I don't know if my last video, I'm tried to record this a second ago, and the camera was turned the wrong way, so I'm having to record on my phone. But this is my fig tree, and it actually grew into the ground through the pot. So I need to dig that up and repot it. That was old strawberries, a different variety, so they've never come back. So I just need to do something different in here so it's not wasted. Okay, now I have these two beds. Okay, so now I have these two beds. These two wooden beds I got on Facebook Marketplace. They were not too far from my house, so that was cool. I've put some cardboard, scraps, and soil from last year in there. And I did the same in this one, except this one has no soil in it. It's literally just like a bunch of compost and then a bunch of cardboard. But we cut down we hired somebody to come cut down a bunch of brush and like small trees and everything. So we're gonna try to burn most of that. But I'm gonna put some of it in the bottom of these beds to kind of like add some height so I don't have to fill this entire thing with soil. And then I will obviously fill the top part with soil. We have a couple of fruit trees that are all completely dead. So then this is my second green stalk. I don't have anything in this one yet. This one's brand new. I just filled this one up the other day, and they came with like these cute little stickers. And then I put one of my disc golf stickers on there. And so I just used organic soil. Another cute little sticker. And then, so there's 5 tiers. And they're all filled with soil. And then you fill the top with water. And then it drains down. And then it drains out that tube. So this is my first green stalk. And it has a bunch of strawberries in it. Some old rosemary, which I don't know if this is like gonna come back. I don't know. And then these little signs are from green stalk as well. And see, like this has like weeds in it. I need to pull that out. And then this was basil, which I need to probably pull up. I'll replant something in there. And they spin, and then they also move, but they don't move very well on the ground. But they do move, so, and it spins. And I had like some arugula, so I can actually like get some rubbing alcohol and clean this off and use them for different plants. But the same thing, except I have the tube that goes, ew, there's a bunch of stuff on it. Okay, so I also have this hill, and this is what we had some people come clear out for us. And if we don't do anything with it, then it will grow up and be like a forest. And then there will also be a lot of kudzu. So we're gonna try to put landscaping fabric down and maybe plant some sort of bushes or something. I don't know. Maybe not bushes, but something like that grows low to the ground. And then pine straw, because it's the cheapest option. We're not planning on staying in this house forever, but I hate dealing with it. And this is like so much space, like yard space. I hate that we can't get use out of it. But we're not going to be here forever, hopefully. Okay, look at these birds. They just landed up there. They're blue jays. They're so pretty. I put up my bird feeder over there. And so we've had a lot more bird activity, and there's a nest. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's somewhere. So cool.